Hello friends, in my this video I am going to start sequential logic circuit, which is very important with respect to electronics and communication engineering point of view. Okay, lots of practical circuit use these sequential circuits and you have to understand each and every concept. So what is sequential logic circuit? That you should understand first. So already you might have studied different logic gates like AND, OR, NOT, XOR, XNOT, different logic circuits using those like marks, demarks, priority encoder, then decoder, like those. Okay, full adder, half adder, full subtractor, half subtractor, parity checker, then even and odd parity. Lots of things you have studied, and you have studied those as combinational circuit. What is the meaning of combinational circuit? Suppose let me draw here one AND gate, okay, and let us try to understand first what is combinational circuit. That is, the output of the circuit depends on only in the present state of the input. Okay, suppose this is one AND gate and this input is 0 and this input is also 0. If both input are 0, output is obviously going to be 0. Okay, as you know, for AND gate, if any input is 0, output is going to be 0. Now suppose later after suppose this happens at t equal to 0, then at t equal to 2 seconds, what you do, you make this 0 as 1 and as well as this 0 also as 1. Okay, so basically there is just you reversed two inputs. Now as the two inputs of AND gate is 1, so output is going to be 1. Okay, now see, previously at t equal to 0, what happened? Your output was 0. Now you change the input at t equal to 2 seconds. Suppose you changed the input to 1 and 1, your new input is 1. So the present output, this one value, how it came? It just depended on the present input, that is this one and this one. As both the present inputs are 1, so the output is going to be 1. This is basic AND gate, right? But it does not depend on the previous output or previous input. Like see, previously inputs were 0, so that output was 0. So the present input, present output, this one value is not dependent on the previous output, that is this 0. Okay, it just depends on this present input, this one and this one. Based on these two present input, we are getting output as 1 for the AND gate. Okay, so this is what the combinational circuit is, that it for combinational circuit, the output, that is the present output, depends on only the present inputs, does not depend whatever happened previously, okay, or whatever happened in past. And here comes the difference in between sequential logic circuit and combinational logic circuit. In sequential logic circuit, suppose this is one circuit which is now for the time being a black box to us. Suppose you give some input, then the output, suppose one output and multiple inputs are there, so the output is not dependent on only the present state of the input, it also depends on the past values of the output. Okay, what happened in the past. Okay, so this is the basic difference. Now suppose you want to make a circuit which is dependent on the present input as well as the past output. Okay, suppose whatever happened in the past, it has to it will depend, the present output will depend on the past output also. Then what to do? Obviously you need one memory element which will store the past value, okay, so that when present input comes, with the combination of present input and past output which is stored in that memory block, we can make from this logic circuit, we can make what is the present output. Okay, so basically this is what sequential logic circuit is. That is, for sequential logic circuit we must need one memory element to store the output of the past. Okay, because our present output is also dependent on the past output as well as the present input also. Okay, So this is what the basic difference in between combinational and sequential circuit. That is, in combinational circuit, the present, understand it very clearly, this is the base of the sequential circuit. So for in case of combinational circuit, the present output is depends on only the present inputs, but in sequential circuit, the present output not only depends on the present input, it also depends on the past outputs. And if we want to make some circuit which is dependent on the past output, what we have to use? We need one memory element which will store the past output. Okay, so that in sequential circuit, obviously we need one memory element which was not present in case of combinational circuit. So now our primary understanding should be how we can make one memory element, how we can make such device which will store some value up to what time I want for 5 seconds, then it will store the previous value, whatever 0 or 1 in binary, you know there are only 0 and 1, it will store that for the time up to which I desire. Okay, so this is what the basic idea is. So now let's study what is written here, that all the combinational circuits, for all the combinational circuit, you know that output levels at any instant of time is dependent only on the levels present at the inputs at that time. Okay, input may be 0 or 1, there may be multiple inputs, but that is the output is only dependent on the present inputs at that time. Okay, that means whatever happening present, not in the past. Any prior input level conditions have no effect on the present outputs because combinational logic circuit have no memory. Okay, so as I told you, if I want to make such circuit which is dependent on the past output also, so we need one memory block. But in case of combinational circuit, there is no memory block. So how the present output can be dependent on the past cases? It cannot depend, right? Because we need one memory block, right? So in combinational circuit, there is no memory block, so that the output cannot be dependent on the previous values of inputs or outputs. Like here you can take, like as I have shown you for AND gate, you can take for 3 input OR gate, x equal to a plus b plus c. Suppose a equal to 0, b equal to 0, c equal to 0, x will be equal to 0. Now suppose c is changed to 1. Now a and b both are 0. Now for OR gate, if at least one input is 1, output is going to be 1. See, this output is not dependent on whatever happened, that is for this case, whatever happened previous, it is just depending on the present cases, 0, 0, 1. It sees this combination, it will give the output as 1. It will not consider whatever happened earlier, okay, because it has no memory element. So how the output can be dependent on the past values? Clear? So now what can be the general, this is the basic idea of combinational circuit and sequential circuit. So what is the general block diagram of a sequential circuit? So sequential circuit is made up of basically logic gates only, like AND or NOT, like that. You may be astonished that how is it possible, because AND or NOT etc. gates cannot store memories, right? But it can store. We have to make certain arrangements. There are different configurations are there, standard configurations will follow. So basically, suppose this is one combinational logic circuit. Okay, I am writing in short form combi, and here this one is memory block. Okay, now our present inputs are entering from the here. Okay, these are our present inputs. Clear? Now combinational circuit will give certain output. Clear? There may be multiple outputs like this. Now as you know, combinational circuit output not only depends on the present input, it also depends on whatever happened earlier. Okay, now this is the memory block. So memory block will store from where? Whatever previously output of the combinational circuit, right? So basically previous values of combinational circuit output will be stored in the memory block. Now if you consider the present cases, already memory block is in the memory block, the previous output is stored. What will happen now? The memory block, from the memory block in the combinational circuits, what will happen? Inputs will enter. Okay, so as a result, now see, the combinational circuit output is dependent on not only the present inputs, that is this, as well as it depends on the outputs of the memory block, that is whatever stored in the memory block, that is it also depends on the past outputs. Okay, and if you want to take past outputs, you can take directly from the memory block also. Okay, so this configuration is basic or general block diagram of the sequential logic circuit, that is combinational circuit along with one memory block. Clear? Now, so what is the memory block? The most or you can say the most famous memory block is flip-flop. Okay, so why it is named as flip-flop, later you will come to know. So basically most important memory block, because combinational circuit we know, our point of interest will be how can we design such circuit which will store the previous value. So that most important memory block is flip-flop, okay, which we will discuss in our upcoming videos. So just have an idea. This is general flip-flop block diagram. Now you just understand with respect to black box, that is what is happening inside. Now you no need to think, later I will discuss. Just you understand the figure. So this is the basic block diagram. FF means flip-flop, multiple inputs are there. There are two possible outputs in the flip-flop. One is Q, another one is Q bar. You can give V bar. Generally we take Q bar. Okay, these are just variable names, nothing to do with circuit operation. So normal output is taken from this Q, and Q bar is obviously inverted of normal output. Okay, so inverted output is taken from this. Okay, suppose if I say that flip-flop is in set condition. Set means what? Set means something as 1. So then you should understand, I am telling that the normal output is 1. That means inverted output is 0. Suppose I say flip-flop is in clear or reset mode. Reset means what? Clear everything, that is normal output is 0, that is inverted output will be 1. Okay, that means whenever we say about the states of flip-flop, we will say with respect to normal output, not with respect to inverted output. Okay, set and reset, two possible conditions. Q, that is one bit in binary, maybe 0 or 1. So 0 means flip-flop is in reset, or 1 means flip-flop is in set. Okay, whatever I say with respect to normal output, not with respect to inverted. Clear? And this flip-flop we have to make with using some logic gates. Okay, and here comes the concept. You may think that logic gates cannot store previous value, that is logic gates are basically combinational circuits. So how can it store previous values? There are certain arrangement we can do. Okay, so by that we can store the we can store the previous value, later I will discuss. Okay, so this is the general flip-flop structure. Okay, so I hope you have understood up to this. And there are two different flip-flop or memory block is generalized as flip-flop, but basically there are two types of memory block. One is latch, another one is bistable multivibrator. Okay, the names may be difficult, but later when I will discuss, you will find it very easy. So there are basically two memory blocks. One is latch, another one is bistable multivibrator. Okay, this bistable multivibrator is called as flip-flop. Don't consider latches and flip-flops are same. Latches is level triggered, flip-flop is edge triggered. Later I will discuss in detail. So I just generalized introduction I have given as flip-flop, but there are two memory blocks. One is latch, another one is flip-flop or bistable multivibrator. In my next video, I will start first discussion on latches, which is level triggered. Okay, that is dependent on input levels of 0 and 1. The output is going to be changed like that. Some stories are there. I will discuss in detail. Okay, so this is all for this video. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.